end of the day, you fulfill one aspect, which is your business entity side. But then what's your very essence? And for us, the core values have always been our guiding beacon. Now, we have been 186 years, and I tell you, this is an ongoing process. I am just fortunate to be working first with the principals and my colleagues of mine who are indeed very compassionate. But I guess while it's a misnomer or a misplaced normally in the business world, just provide them the venue, even my colleagues, because they're human beings. It's just that it's just so happened that they have roles. Then at times these roles overtake and keep the compassionate side kept inside their, as I would always joke them, inside their suits. But in reality, the moment they take it out, these people are really more compassionate than you think of. So I think if you are in a role that you could provide venue, opportunities, I think that is where it could make a difference. And please, it does not require a big thing. I'm a believer of small initiatives that would gain traction and would continuously attract the others to let it snowball, so to speak. And all the rest will just follow. It's not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted, just like being in HR. But you can answer it for yourself. It's worth every milestone. But you will go through the millstone to really get that satisfaction in the journey. So it's an ongoing process. I don't want to claim that we're there, Luz or Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben, you've been the head of HR in Manila Water, and there's an important question here from Juanchon Mark. How can HR play a pivotal role of fostering compassion despite the hierarchical arrangements of decision-making in most organizations, especially if the organization is really big? Yeah, how can we do that? With the
I thank you for the question. I always love that. It's just like going back to how you become strategic. I always say it's not a choice. It has to be, you have to be both administrative and strategic. And I also say that you got to be efficient and effective. And I would like to even connect this with the digitalization initiatives right now, because people think that when you have AI and robotics, that's it. And where is compassion? I always say AI robotics makes you more efficient because these are enablers, these are tools. And therefore, you have more time to be more effective because you will be given a leeway at a time so that you could still connect on a personal note. So going back to the question, the pivotal role of HR, I always say, my guide is, do you know exactly the role that is being expected from HR? Because a lot of us would always push to become strategic, but that your gap seems to be administrative. So if you have not really measured up to that expectation, it will be an uphill climb for you to even be considered in the round table. So I think determining the key role or the gaps of your organization from an HR point of view is very important. Then, when you earn your stripes, you're confident, the credibility comes in. And whether you like it or not, you will be invited. You will be brought into bigger initiatives. And that's why I say, once you're there, it's a point of no return. They will just bring you in all together with all the initiatives that the organization will be doing. So please determine the role, your responsibilities, define it, and the third, you have to be accountable. See, a lot of us tend to hide behind policies. Please, that's the worst reasoning. Don't ever use or throw the book on HR policies. Policies are just guide. I always say, and I hope I will not be charged with blasphemy. There are 10 commandments for the Catholics, but I always say there is a sacrament of reconciliation if and when you transgress. In other words, policies are there to guide you, but think beyond when somebody asks you for help, refer to the policy, but don't get stuck in the policy. Especially in these times wherein these are really undefined situations. So you want to be pivotal, determine your role as HR, know your responsibilities, and be accountable. That's how I think I would share my own journey.